Hi folks, I hope this video is finding you well, and the following must be said, and it needs to be heard, as we have gibbers, soil slit pirates and freebooters among us, talked about in ta Biblia, called tares, chaff and useless stubble, accompanied by deriders and detractors, and they have found their way to divinity's truck patch and they are driving through the crop, even manslayers, cutthroats and those who would bear false witness and make the lie, at the law, and they too are among us, being the same in positions of power. My friends, we must conclude after diligent study, that it's a spirit familiar that drives their social war wagon, for in ta Biblia we are told it's a bloodline institution, and a family disorder on the creep, crook, and prowl, whom it appears by the looks to have taken over the end-day wheelhouse, but I'm here to say that they have always been there, riding roughshod over the sea of peoples, and the only difference is that now we can see them for what they are, as the end-day veil has been lifted. Hallelujah. My so beloved boon companions, those found drawn by divinity's design, to a prophesied righteous assemblage, having arrived at the call, be it known, passed around and remembered, those that rule the pen and styes are related, some by seed and others by gifts, however, with neither gang being more than a pack of rebellious retooled freakazoids, dangerous to all that is good, and they are a bunch disruptive whom refuse to play by any set of rules, even their own, and please know that they make up the rules as they go, and I'll let you know that anyone who is prone to harm another, in any situation other than self-defense, folks, if you're on the offensive wanting to torment others as a continued device, then you're a sickie, meaning that you need some attention, as in a checkup from the neck up, 'cause you, second person, could be deemed dangerous, and those freaks of nature do not belong sitting in a seat at any council table, but need to be dealt with, and be it known, they shall be. As they continue to refuse a moral collar and a social leash, but have passed them out to us, in the maternity wards, folks, my grandson's social security card was in the mail before he got home from the hospital. What does that tell you? That his track and trace began in the well-organized birthing barn and stall. Please know that those whom rule this cubby, not only reject a social collar and leash, but they break rules already having been established, and the rules they don't break, they ignore, with the first rule being, leave our children alone, as they were made off limits long ago, by the word of God, harm not my little ones, Matthew chapter 18 and verse 6. But whoso shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and that he were drowned in the depth of the sea. Side note, my friends, mankind needs a keeper yet wants to be ours, but we being children of God, we already have a keeper named Yahweh, the God of our fathers' fathers, and he does not kill his babies in the womb, nor does he suffer and starve his people, and our Father doesn't make a buck off the infirmed. Remember, to the lesser, it's all about the shekel, its shine and spendability. Speaking of our Father's warning to the leaders through Matthew, concerning those children of God, Matthew was a disciple of Jesus, and prior to his being chosen, he demonstrated as a publican, or a tax collector, whom while sitting at the receipt of custom and register in Capernaum, he was called to follow Jesus, and did, and for his faith he was martyred, and at around 60 AD, Matthew was put to death by being staked to the ground, where he became the target of spears launched. Folks, Capernaum was a fishing village in Judea, during the time of Jesus, and now is a tourist attraction. Fancy that, for only $3 per person, one can see where Jesus paid his stranger's tax. Side note, why does the counterfeit Israel need that $3? The US sent them $8 billion last year, and they are broke already. I'll tell you what, it's all been broken by breakers of societies, called by our Father, those contrary to all men. My friends, just as the offenders of righteousness refuse a collar and leash which is their position, well, we refuse a mask as that is our stance and position, as we have to be identified as being apart from them, from a distance, and their refusal to wear a moral collar or a social leash is as harmful as it is evident, and the time is rapidly approaching whereas the office bearers in the lazy boys, with their equally unlearned lackeys in slouch attending, the pack of them, dank, rank and fusty, soon shall no longer have any say, pull, draw or sway, in the least matter course or study attended, as they shall be soundly leashed, abruptly harnessed, tightly girdled and firmly bitted for transport, to the lake of fire, where for eternity they shall remain as wicks ablaze, surrendering a dark light, but the fire will not consume them, nay, it shall suffer them rightly, in escort of certain prophecy, which soon will be their contemptuous and most heated hobbles, strolls, and stretches. Remember hearing this story about our founding father and first president? It went like this: when George Washington was 6 years old he received a hatchet, as a gift, and on the sly with it he proceeded to chop down one of his father's cherry trees. When his father discovered what had been done, he became angry and confronted the lad. When asked about the freshly felled cherry, young George bravely said, "I cannot tell a lie, I chopped it down with my new hatchet." Washington's father embraced him and rejoiced at his son's glowing character and stature, and said that his son's honesty was worth more than 1,000 trees. I'd say young Jorge was quite the boy, having an honesty exceeding, however, it is a lie, as it never happened, folks. It was a grand fib told to youngsters by the Department of Education, and please know that we were given the internet for a reason. It's to show us what was hidden under the veil, and that was only one lie that was hidden. Wanna hear another? Our founding fathers were not Christian. For example, Washington, Jefferson, Franklin, Madison, and Monroe were practicing deists. Deism is a philosophical belief in human reason as a reliable means of solving social and political problems. Basically they believed in themselves, and sent God packing back to his cubby, as their kind don't need our Father, nor are they interested in his counsel, for as we know, God's law offends kings, rulers, and chieftains alike, and this was done in Destiny's Childhood by kings, speaking to communing with God, and or his children. Psalms chapter 2 and verse 3. Let us break their bands asunder, and cast away their cords from us. My so beloved familiars here, they want nothing to do with the Lamb, nor his assembling flock. I ask you, has mankind ever not been ill-attended by those in the wheelhouse, and they think that we should line up and thank them for everything sound and solid still left in this country? So I will begin. Thank you Uncle Samantha for not destroying the remainder of the good left in this country, which ain't much, folks. A healthy organism does not attack itself, and please know that we are under attack, from within by cell splitters, meaning from under our skin we are being attacked by a foreign signature secondary, and the noise of those arrows were not present before Santana called his ladder string from the bench. Yea, his end-day demons now escort the ball, and given their front line, our Father merely needs to glance at them with certain sternness attending, and they shall be smitten. However, before their perish, they will have their time to plead their case and to defend their stances, actions, and damaging conduct while in earth, on the terrible day of the Lord. Matthew chapter 7 and verse 21 through 23. Not every one that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name? And in thy name have cast out devils? And in thy name done many wonderful works? And then will I profess unto them, I never knew you, depart from me, ye that work iniquity. My friends, in closing, our futures have already been determined. Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 17. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. Folks, we were salvaged by divinity's hand from the dung heap, and continuing on, we find the aforementioned righteous promise and divine pronouncement repeated in Romans chapter 11 and verses 26 and 27. And so all Israel shall be saved, as it is written, there shall come out of Zion the deliverer, and shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob. For this is my covenant unto them, when I shall take away their sins. As we head for the door, my brothers and sisters, please know that we had to have lived a portion of our lives in sin, in order to have been forgiven, qualifying us as the saved spoken to in the book. And on that note, I hope you take the best of care, and I thank you so much for listening, my friends.